Hey, look, it's the Wrestling Snob back on the Noah Network. I told you guys in one of my last videos here that I've been kind of disappointed in Noah as of late because I don't lie. I'm not a guy who is going to BS you like a Dave Meltzer and I mean, it's not really fair to just pick on Dave. Most wrestling journalists do, right? They're tribalists. They grab onto something they like. They praise it no matter what. I get accused of that, but it's ridiculous. There's things in WWE that I watch that I can't stand. SmackDown, Raw, NXT, and I'm sure Evolve when it comes out. There's stuff they're going to do that I can't stand. I'm not here to talk about that, so don't worry. There's stuff Noah does that I can't stand. But for the longest time, that was rare. I love just about everything Noah did. But for the past couple of months, well, past 2 months, okay, I liked Noah the New Year. I enjoyed that show very much. But since then, there's been very little that I've enjoyed in Pro Wrestling Noah. It hasn't felt the same. It felt almost like someone else was booking it. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it other than to say there was a lot of goofy comedy spots and the wrestling didn't feel as snug. It didn't feel as tight. It didn't feel like Noah was trying to make us believe. It felt like Noah was just trying to be like everyone else, from New Japan to WWE to AEW and everything in between, right? That's what it felt like. I never hated Noah. I never will hate Noah, short of them becoming another DDT. Don't get me started about DDT. Um, I'm always going to be a big, huge fan as you see that GHC title sitting over my shoulder here. I love them, along with my NWA TV title. I love that title. And the Wrestling Done Right championship right over my head. I love Noah. I want to always love Noah, but I had to take a break. It was sort of getting on my nerves. It was very disappointing. And again, let's not stay on that. Let's talk about Noah Star Navigation Premium from February 11th, just a few days ago, because boy, was that a Noah show. This is what I expect Pro Wrestling Noah to be and look like, from the top of the card to the bottom of the card, with no nonsense. And I already see the show after that had Black Mansoure on there. I guess I'm just going to have to skip his matches and get over it. I don't know if someone owes him a favor or what, but the guy's terrible, and comedy crap in a company as tight and stiff and snug as Noah is even more stupid than it is anywhere else. But again, let's focus on Star Navigation Premium. Number one, they had my boys, Stu and Mark, on commentary. Noah, you need to do that more often. English commentary makes all the difference in the world. They tell the stories of especially some of these gaijins who I have no idea who they are. All right. When you bring some of these guys in, and I'm sitting there wondering who in the hell are these people? I'm trying to skim my notes here to see who I'm talking about. Karrion Lacey and Mark True. Hey, I learned that they're from England. I learned that they're from Essex, I believe, from the hometown of the flippiest, floppiest guy in the world, Will Ospreay, right? So I've learned something about them in this show. Keep the American commentary, at least on these bigger shows. There's too many Noah shows that has no commentary, and that's just sad. I've watched them for years like that, and I still will if they're good. But commentary makes all the difference in the world. Thank you, Stu and Mark, for the terrific job that you always do. Okay? Now let's take a look at this great Pro Wrestling Noah card. As a WWE fan now, as a TNA fan now, I still want Noah to be my go-to company for badass wrestling. And that's what this show was. And that's what I want to see more of. Yes, even Tozawa, who, since winning the title and even, first turning heel, sort of has gotten on my nerves. Although I have put over Team 2000X as a great heel faction, because they are. They do it right most of the time, but we'll get into that here in a second. This show started off with a pre-show. Asuka and Junta Miyawaki. I like that team. I like Asuka. I think he's the best junior in the world. He has a serious style, a kick-ass attitude. He's great. Junta Miyawaki's a little too baby-face, baby-kissing, hand-slapping fan favorite for me. I don't hate him, but just too much. They took on Anthony Green and Zozoya. When I first saw Zozoya, I'm like, who the hell's this guy? Again, thank you, Stu and Mark, for helping explain he's a Spaniard. That the team of him and Anthony Green is fresh and interesting, that they're kind of similar in style, look, build, everything about them. They're not the same wrestler, they're not exactly alike, but they are very familiar with and to and around and about each other, if you will. So watching them team up was interesting and fun. Watching them eventually face off down the road will be even better. This was a very good match that saw Asuka and Milwaukee pick up the win out of nowhere. Just came out of nowhere. All of a sudden, bam! I think it was Azuya gets pinned. I don't even remember how it happened. I'm watching it. I guess I need to take better notes, but I never write down move for move. I don't want to talk about a match move for move. Some reviewers do that. I don't. If you like that, sorry. Blech. But the match was tight. The match was fast-paced, but not over the top. It was hard-hitting and a great way to open the show. Asuka and Junta Milwaukee look good. Next up was a singles match. Harutuki took on Owada-san. Apparently, since Owada has turned bad, he has embraced the evil side of himself. Instead of Owada, he's now Owada-san. I don't know what that means. I thought san just meant sir or something over there in Japan. Forgive me, I have no really clue, but I thought I heard that before. But Owada-san and Harutuki was less than 5 minutes. That's my only complaint here. Both of these guys are the future of this company. There is no doubt. Harutuki wins it over Owada-san in another sort of big time out of nowhere win. It was kind of crazy, but not bad in any way, shape, or form. I don't like that it was less than 5 minutes. I don't like that Owada-san lost, even though Harutuki is great and absolutely a big guy in the future. Absolutely. But Owada-san, with his new attitude and his new look and everything about him just gels and just pops and just works, should have won this, in my opinion. It wouldn't have hurt Harutuki, in my opinion. But again, for a 4-minute match, 4.5 minutes, it was decent. Next, we had a 6-man match, which I would normally, 6-man's good. But when you get an 8, 10, 12, it's ridiculous. So this is a 6-man match. A lot of companies have 6-man titles. Thank you, Noah, for not having them, and please don't get them. But this was old school Noah, except for one guy, but he fits right in with old school Noah. I'm talking about Kazuyuki Fujita. I respect the hell out of the guy. Naomichi Marufuji and Takashi Zagura. 3 of the most badass wrestlers in Noah. And don't give me any lame crap about how old they are. They're still great. They're still fun. They're still solid. And they're still ass kickers. I don't care if they're 90 years old. If they can do all those things, keep bringing them in. But they took on Masa Kitamiya. Oh, one of my favorites in Noah. Shuji Kondo, one of the best junior heavyweights, and Ulka Sasaki, the guy who marched into pro wrestling from the MMA world, much like Kurt Angle, and has just figured it out immediately and become a big deal. This was your typical hard-hitting pro wrestling Noah match, which, once again, ended with a roll-up out of nowhere. Marufuji pins Ulka Sasaki at less than 10 minutes. I loved the match. This was Noah. This was, why I wear these shirts, why I wear the hat, why I buy jackets, why I have things custom made from head to toe, literally. Pro wrestling Noah, because wrestling like this match, wrestling that literally gives me goosebumps. I could show you the way The Rock shows you on his way to the ring. Gives me goosebumps. I love this style, this type, this kind of wrestling. It's wrestling done right. Oh, beautiful. I don't like that the win sort of popped out of nowhere once again. I don't think Owada-san and Harutuki did that. I was wrong about saying that. But the Asuka, Junta Milwaukee, and Green versus Azuya did. And now this did. It was 2 matches out of the first 3 that just, bam, here's a winner. Roll up, bam, boom. It's like, whoa, what? Didn't hurt the match at all. I loved this. But Fujita, Marufuji, and Segura beat the younger team of Kitamiya, Kondo, and Sasaki in a great pro wrestling Noah match. Can you tell how happy I am with this show? Boy. Noah Junior Tag League then kicks off on this show. 2025 Block B. The Rattels, Tadasuke and Yuto Kikuchi, kind of like his new haircut, took on Atsushi Kotogi and Hajime Ohara. This match was 2 minutes and 19 seconds. I don't even know how to comment on a match that was 2 minutes and 19 seconds with Tadasuke and Kikuchi winning it. I don't know what's happened with Kotogi. I like his look. He has just black hair. He doesn't got the dye in it. He looks a little meaner, looks a little badder, even though he's still a babyface carrying that pro wrestling Noah flag around. Ohara, I miss him in Congo. I like him better as a badass, but they go down here, and the Rattels advance in 2 minutes and 19 seconds. Not much to say about it. Wasn't bad, wasn't good. It just was what it was, a 2-minute match. I don't know, but it didn't detract from this great show, and I still love all 4 of those guys. Then we had another junior tag team matchup. Block A match, which saw the guys I didn't know, Kieran Lacey and Mark True. They're from the UK. Mark and Stu were calling them the boys from Essex, which I know is the town Will Ospreay comes from. They have sort of a attitude about them. One was wearing like a winter-style hat on his head for the match. I don't know. They were fine. They were good wrestlers. Good junior tag team. Absolutely. The Rattels, they took on Hayata and Yohei, and this was solid. For a junior tag match, this was a lot of flippy fly and shit, of course, but it was still Pro Wrestling Noah style. I mean, it's always going to be Pro Wrestling Noah style when it's Hayata and Yohei, and those two led these younger kids, Lacey and True, to a good match in which Lacey and True win and get a big upset. See, it's another thing Noah's willing to do. They're willing to let young guys get upsets once in a while. No, not all the time. And no, I'm not talking about young guys coming up, except Tozawa, their heavyweight champion, who was a young guy, went on an excursion, came back and won the title, just like Kaito Kiyomiya did a little while ago, 2 or 3 years ago. They did it again with Tozawa. And I'm not saying they're going to put Lacey and True up on that level, but for Yohei and Hayata, one of the most experienced junior tag teams on this earth, to put them over tells me that they see something in these two, and I look forward to seeing more of their matches for sure. Then it was the GHC national title match. Manabu Soya coming back for a title that was stolen from him by Tetsuya Endo. Forgive me, he's new and no, he's been in DDT for a while. He's the guy that Nakajima knocked the hell out of, literally knocked him out. And I'm pretty sure he pissed off DDT and everybody around the company over there for doing that. He didn't try, but he open hand slapped him and knocked him out like a bitch. And that's sort of how I've seen Endo ever since. But he came in and stole the title off Soya when Team 2000X interfered umpteenth million times and allowed him to win that title. Now here's Soya coming back for it, and he wins it. He wins it. Now, Endo's a good wrestler, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. He's a solid wrestler, sadly lost in DDT over there in Comedy Land. I know there are legit matches in DDT, but there's so much shitty, goopy stuff that it embarrasses me and it shames the business, and I hate it. But good to see a wrestler like Endo coming to Noah. Hopefully he sticks around. He's very good. But this time, the Rattels came out and ran off, protected Manabu Soya from the interfering Team 2000X, which was badly needed. Oftentimes in wrestling, you see a heel unit rule, like House of Torture in New Japan, like Hate in Stardom and other places. And you never see baby faces, you never see fan favorites band together in a real way to chase them off. Hell, that was the same back in the day of the Four Horsemen. Yeah, they had Lex Luger and Sting and Dusty Rhodes, but they never really formed as tight of a bond as the Horsemen had. Never. Here, maybe we'll see the Rattels and Manabu Soya have a real legitimate bond to stand up against the ridiculous interference and gaga that Team 2000X pulls out. They did here. Manabu Soya, a 2-time national champion now. Love the guy, and it's interesting seeing him with the Rattels. We'll see where that goes. Then we had a Junior Tag League match, another one, Block A. This was All Rebellion. Alejandro and Kai Fujimura, hell of a team, took on Daiki Odashima and Eita. Another hell of a team. Now, if you don't know, Odashima is a young boy wearing red, which is unusual for young boys, and Eita matched him. Eita came out with the red jacket, looking like $1 million, looking like a legit tag team. For Eita to take this young boy, Odashima, who is over as hell. The crowd loves this guy, and he ain't got to say yeet to get it. But he got Eita, which is a big deal. Eita works extremely well with him. This is only a 10-minute match that saw Alejandro and Kai Fujimura win. You know, Alejandro and Kai Fujimura have more in common with one another, have been working a little longer, I'd say a lot longer, together. And they overcame Eita and Odashima, taking the young boy Odashima out, who is going to be a huge star. Odashima is going to rule the junior division shortly. Less than a year. I think he'll be on top of that division. I really do, especially teaming with someone like Eita, but this was a great junior tag match. Then we had a tag team matchup that I absolutely adored as well. The returning Kenta teams with Kenoh. The only thing I don't like is the name of the tag team, and even Kenta told Kenoh it was stupid, is Ken. Yeah, Ken. Ken Tag. Oh, Kenoh, come on. And they took on Kaito Kiyomiya and Shuhei Taniguchi. Taniguchi came up as my back Taniguchi, which I kind of like, kind of don't. I think they had something with Maibach Taniguchi when Shuhei Taniguchi wore the mask and carried around what looks like a deep sea weapon or something. I don't know, some big fork. They just made him a little too ridiculously superpowered. You know what I mean? Not legit superpowers, but just unstoppable, unpinnable. Now they put the mask on him and make him more badass. That's cool. I get it. The mask sort of drives him to be wild and insane. He attacks everybody, including the ref, though. They just turned that gimmick up way too much, so he ended up taking the mask off and acting like, I'm just joking, I'm not Maibach Taniguchi. If Maibach Taniguchi would have been a little bit more believable and a little less over the top, I think they had $1 million in that gimmick, but they kind of ruined it. So I'm glad he took the mask off. And this was solid. Of course, you know Kaito Kiyomiya and Kenoh are both in All Rebellion, so here they're facing each other. But man, is it exciting to see Mr. Noah himself back, Kenta. And it has been announced that he has signed a contract with Noah. Another thing, it gets those goosebumps rising on my arm, baby. Please let Noah be back. Please. I can still enjoy WWE like I'm going to enjoy Vengeance Day shortly here with NXT. But man, I want Noah to rest as my number one again. I want them at the top of my list. And if they keep doing stuff like this, they're going to be shortly. Wow. But Kenoh and Kenta had an amazing team. This was almost an 18-minute match that was beautiful, had me on the edge of my seat the entire time. King's Road style. This told a story in the ring of Kenoh and Kenta forming an incredible bond, allowing them to win the match. Of course, it was Kenta taking out Taniguchi with the go to sleep and winning it for his team. Afterwards, him and Kenta bump fists, put their arms around each other. This is a legitimate team. So much so that Kenoh says, hey guys, I'm out of All Rebellion. It was a nice 6-month run. And he shook hands and embraced Kaito Kiyomiya. They didn't fight. Wished him well with the faction, with the unit, with the group. But he's off with Kenta. And what an amazing team that's going to be. That in and of itself is worth watching. Noah. Great tag team match here. The right guys won. And finally, the main event. I'm on record for putting down Ozawa. Not incredibly bad, but his antics sometimes, I don't know, I wasn't convinced that they fit in Noah. His breakdancing in the middle of the ring. Now, he does it as a taunt, okay? So Noah seldomly does something ridiculously over the top, but he licks guys in the side of the face sometimes. But after watching this match, it was a great match. He took on Galeno. That is the brother of El Hijo del Dr. Wagner Jr., who is off. He is signed with AAA now and not in Noah anymore, at least for now. And he helped build his brother Galeno into a star before he left. This almost 26-minute match was terrific. Again, told a beautiful story, babyface versus heel. To his credit, Ozawa impressed me. This was his first title defense. I have not seen him in a fight, like no one has. But his antics in tag team matches and stuff sort of made me sort of roll my eyes and think, well, is he supposed to be childish? Is he supposed to be immature? Yeah, that's part of it. But his antics worked here. You know what I mean? Like, he's in a very respectful Japanese promotion and he's being a disrespectful asshole. I get it. I saw it. Have you ever heard a young boy, which he still is, talk to the older generation? That's not the right words, but like the way that he did, Mark Pickering pointed out. No, we've never seen this. This never happens. Yes, he came back and won the title, the GHC title right there, baby, right there. He won that, and that's great, and that's respectful and all, but he still needs to respect his elders and learn lessons from them. And Ozawa's like, kiss my ass. I'm doing what I want. I'm better than all of you. I don't care. And it's rare in Japan because Japan, it's about honor. It's not, you can be a heel, but you better have some honor, some respect. And Ozawa is flushing that down the toilet. I get it now. Is Ozawa now my favorite? Hell no. Kenoh and Kenta are my favorites. But I get it better now. It was my fault for jumping to conclusions and going too ridiculously far on the negative side. I'll admit that. But guys, I am so passionate. Like Manabu Soya, I am so passionate about wrestling that the slightest thing that makes me think it's being disrespected or being laughed at or ridiculed or mocked makes me pissed. It gets my blood boiling. And Noah was so honorable and Noah was so good and so strong and so solid that I embraced it as part of me, as part of myself. I took it in as the wrestling snob's home. Finally, there was a place in wrestling that did it right all of the time. And if you keep doing shows like this, Ozawa retains, if I didn't say that right. Ozawa wins in the end with a ridiculously good Phoenix Splash. Holy hell. And then Manabu Soya comes in and challenges him title for title. Next big show. National title, heavyweight title. Winner gets both. Ozawa and Manabu Soya. Damn. Now just make the undercard as good as this, and you're back. No, you're back, baby. After, 6, 7, 8 weeks of shows that sort of disappointed me on some level, please be back to what this show was, because this was Noah. This was wrestling done right. This was 10 out of 10. This might have been 12 out of 10. Oh, I'd love to be back full time on this channel. And if Noah keeps giving me this, I will be. And I hope you enjoy your time here too. Thanks for the subscriptions and follows.